Hey there, Alux, welcome back. In this lesson, we're diving into the sneaky world of financial red flags in your relationships. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Isn't this just about romantic partners? Well, nope. Money habits matter in all kinds of relationships, from roommates and family to close friends and even coworkers. For instance, say you're sharing an apartment with a friend and suddenly they're always forgetting to pay their share of the rent. Or maybe your best buddy insists on expensive outings, leaving you struggling to keep up. These situations can lead to stress and tension if not addressed early on. In fact, about 36% of Americans in serious relationships say money is their top stressor. And with friends, a whopping 80% of us don't speak up when we're overspending. That silence can turn into misunderstandings or, worse, financial manipulation or abuse. So let's shine a light on those financial red flags before they turn into a full-blown crisis. Ready to learn how to protect your wallet and your peace of mind? Well, let's get started. We're going to kick things off with our first red flag: the friend, family member, or roommate who's always late or finds a way out of paying their share. We've all been there, right? Maybe it's your college buddy who forgot their wallet for the third time this month, or your sibling who's always promising to Venmo you tomorrow. Sound familiar? Okay, the thing is, loaning money to those close to you is pretty common. In fact, about 71% of Americans have loaned money to someone in their life and are still waiting to be paid back. That's why our golden rule is to treat any money you lend as a gift. If you can't afford to never see it again, don't loan it out. Imagine you're sharing an apartment with a roommate who's perpetually late with their rent. You're the sole leaseholder, and suddenly their tardiness is your problem. Your landlord doesn't care who's late, they just want the rent paid on time. And guess what? That late payment is going to haunt your rental record, not theirs. Talk about unfair. Or picture this: you and a friend decided to hit up that new sushi place. You cover the bill with a promise from them that they'll pay you back. Days turns into weeks, and your bank account is still sushi-less. Awkward, right? It's tough to ask for your money back even though it's rightfully yours. And if this becomes a pattern, it's a big ol' red flag. People who constantly dodge their financial responsibilities are overstepping your boundaries. They're treating your money like it's disposable while hoarding theirs. Not cool, okay? Sometimes it's as simple as deciding not to loan them any more money. It's important to recognize this behavior and feel empowered to say no in the future. Even if it makes you feel like the bad guy, you're just setting some healthy financial boundaries. So next time your friend forgets their wallet, remember, you are not a walking ATM. Stand your ground and protect your wallet from those late payers. Next up on our red flag radar, the friend who pressures you to spend more than you can afford. Now this one's a sneaky little gremlin because it's way more common than you might think. Just under 50% of millennials admit they've overspent to keep up with social obligations. Yep, we've all been there, right? Stuck in the awkwardness of a fancy dinner watching the bill climb higher than a mountain goat on Red Bull. Let's pick a classic scenario. You're out with friends, planning to keep it simple, but suddenly, everyone's ordering appetizers, entrees, and top-shelf cocktails like there's no tomorrow. Meanwhile, you're sitting there with your humble salad and water, dreading that moment when the bill arrives. The cringe-worthy swipe of your credit card, just hoping it isn't declined. Ugh, we've all felt that. Occasionally, it's just a misunderstanding, but if you're constantly having those heart-palpitating, I hope this goes through moments because you can't be honest about your budget, that's a blazing red flag. And let's not forget about dating. If you feel like you have to spend big bucks to impress someone, that is another giant red flag waving in your face. Believe it or not, around 30% of people between ages 18 to 34 have racked up $500 in credit card debt from dating. Why? Because saying, "I can't afford that," feels more awkward than trying to dance at a silent disco. The reality is, we've been conditioned to feel weird about discussing budgets. But if you can't be honest with your friends or dates about what you can and can't afford, that's a sign that something is off in those relationships. The phrase, "it's not in my budget," needs to become your new mantra. Practice it in the mirror if you have to. And remember, friend groups often have people from different financial backgrounds. It's on those with deeper pockets to be more mindful and not put others in uncomfortable positions. Feeling pressured to spend beyond your means is a major red flag. So the next time you're out and the spending starts to spiral, don't be afraid to speak up. Next on our list is quite a biggie. The partner, roommate, or friend who makes financial decisions that impact you without consulting you first. Now, in the beginning, this might seem thrilling. Imagine your partner surprising you with a vacation or a brand new TV. But hold up, okay? That excitement can quickly turn into a nightmare if those decisions involve money that's at least partially yours. Healthy relationships should have a clear understanding of financial boundaries. Maybe you both agree that anything under a certain amount can be spent freely, or you've got separate accounts for personal splurges. But when someone starts dipping into joint funds for big purchases without a heads up, that's a flashing red flag. Let's say your roommate decides to upgrade the living room with a pricey new couch and expects you to chip in. You're blindsided, staring at your budget wondering how you're going to make it work. Or worse, your partner books an extravagant vacation without checking the bank balance, leaving you both scrambling to cover other expenses. This isn't just inconsiderate, no, it's a sign they feel empowered to steer your financial ship without your input. Relationship expert Jen Elmquist points out that making significant spending decisions without consulting your partner often hints at a deeper issue, a problematic relationship with money. They might know that you would probably say no if they asked, so they just skipped that part altogether. And here's the kicker. If you don't have access to the banking info needed to understand the full impact of these purchases, well, that's a form of financial abuse. Yep, number 3 to 6 on our list are all shades of financial abuse recognized by the NNEDV, the National Network to End Domestic Violence. Now, having said that, moving on to red flag number 4, the person who sets spending rules for you but doesn't follow them themselves. Yikes. Look, okay, when done right, having mutual spending rules in a relationship can be super healthy. It avoids those pesky arguments about who spent what and keeps everyone on the same financial page. Having clear guidelines about what money goes into joint versus solo accounts or what's considered fun money versus serious money can save you from a lot of headaches. But, and this is a big but, those rules only work if both people play by them. If one person is making rules that they don't follow, it's a red flag waving in your face. Just imagine the following scenario for a moment. Your partner insists you don't get a discretionary account while they go on solo spending sprees. Or if they're the solo breadwinner, they might give you an allowance while they enjoy free reign over the joint accounts. Not fair, right? With about 22% of American divorces citing money as the main stressor, it's no wonder that uneven financial power can cause major issues. Sometimes it's just a matter of different money philosophies. Maybe you both weren't totally honest about your spending habits when you first got together. But there's a huge difference between that and someone actively controlling your financial life. Remember, any spending rules should be equal and fair. If one person is setting rules they don't follow, it's time to have a serious chat about financial equality. Make sure everyone's on the same playing field, and don't let double standards mess with your money mojo. Now for number 5, watch out for the person who uses money to control or shame you. Now this one overlaps with double standards, but stands on its own because it doesn't necessarily involve different rules. Instead, it's about using money as a weapon. And believe it or not, about 99% of domestic abuse cases involve some form of financial abuse. That's a staggering number, highlighting how money can keep someone trapped in a bad situation. Take a look at this scenario. You and your partner both work full-time, but they earn more. Suddenly, there's an unspoken expectation that you should handle more of the domestic tasks because you don't contribute as much financially to the partnership. Or maybe you're a stay-at-home parent and your partner uses their income to make you feel guilty or control your behavior. This dynamic gives the earner, or the higher earner, an unfair upper hand. Shame is a powerful emotion, and it's easy for someone to exploit your feelings about not contributing as much financially. This can create a toxic environment where your every move is scrutinized and your self-worth takes a hit. That's why financial experts always stress the importance of having an emergency fund that's entirely yours. This stash of cash is your ticket to freedom if things ever go south. Think about it. If you need to leave a bad situation, having your own money is crucial. Whether it's escaping an abusive partner or moving out from a nightmare roommate, access to your own funds can make all the difference. It's not just about planning for a rainy day. No, it's about ensuring you have the resources to protect yourself. So even if your relationship or living situation is fantastic right now, always keep some money that is completely yours. Set clear financial boundaries and expectations with your partner, and never feel guilty or ashamed for protecting your financial independence. After all, you never know when you might need it. And finally, let's talk about the partner or friend who gets impatient with you learning about finances or doesn't want you to learn anything about it at all. Financial literacy is on the decline, with only about 37% of people able to answer 5 basic financial questions correctly. So if you're tuning into our lessons, well, kudos to you, you're already ahead of the game. In any long-term relationship, especially one with shared finances, understanding the ins and outs of money management is crucial. If one partner is more knowledgeable, it can create an imbalance where they take the lead on all financial decisions. But remember, if your money is shared, so should the decision-making power. Imagine your partner dismisses your interest in learning about investments, saying, "I'll handle it, it's too complicated for you." Or maybe they claim you're bad at math and should leave the financial stuff to them. Major red flag alert. This behavior not only undermines your confidence, but also excludes you from crucial discussions about your financial future. There's a big learning curve here, especially since many of us weren't taught about managing money growing up. It's essential to have a partner who supports your learning journey. If they believe financial discussions are solely a man's job or think you're incapable because of your gender or age, that's a really big red flag. A supportive partner encourages you to learn and grow, including in financial matters. So if you're committed to understanding money better, make sure your partner is patient and willing to learn alongside you. Financial equality means both parties are informed and involved. So there you have it, my friend. 6 red flag money habits to watch out for in your relationships. Whether it's with your friends, family, roommates, or romantic partners, financial tension can creep in and wreak havoc if left unchecked. It's all about open communication and setting healthy boundaries. Always feel empowered to say, "Hold on a minute, that doesn't feel right," and do your research. Know your rights and recognize these red flags when they appear. Try to make sure every relationship is built on honest conversations about your financial realities, even if it's just admitting that you can't afford a night out right now. Because at the end of the day, a healthy relationship is one where you feel comfortable being truthful about your money situation. So keep these red flags in mind, Aluxer. Stay vigilant, and most importantly, keep those lines of communication wide open. Here's to better money habits and stronger, healthier relationships.